Well, continuing our eclectic review-a-thon,
Yes.
um, I took my baby step into the Warhammer 40k universe,
Mm.
which I have heard about. As a BattleTech fan, I have a slight disdain for it because, so with BattleTech, everything is abstracted.
Mm.
So, like, if this figurine is a mech that is technically called a rifleman
Mm.
for your game board. However, outside of like tournament play, which God knows I'm not into,
Mm.
uh, that can, as long as I have an indicator and we all can all keep track of what's what, you could play a game with a bunch of like you could play it with pills if you had a way of knowing which was the front and which was the back,
Mm.
because it is designed to be relatively inexpensive to play.
Mm. Yeah.
Warhammer 40k. Oh, you got your human infantry there. Oh, you want to get a better laser rifle? Better go buy the add-on
Okay.
with real money
Oh.
so you can attach it to the figurine.
Okay. Oh
Very
man.
much a rich man's hobby. Um,
Yeah.
and also, from my understanding, it is a universe that literally was they had the Warhammer fantasy setting,
Mhm.
and people told them it was too dark, so they came up with Warhammer 40k. Like, we'll just set it 40,000 years in the future as kind of a piss take. We'll just you think that was too dark? We'll just ramp it up to cartoonish levels, and people loved it, and they said, okay, fine.
Yeah.
And now that's the more famous of the settings.
Ah.
But I didn't know anything about the series in particular, so not a. So you might ask, okay, DB, why the heck did you try this? Well, when I came out with my Magpie Wizard novels, a few people who knew the Flashman papers uh, uh, knew compared my Magpie Wizard novels to that. Other people compared it to this, and I was like, "The hell is a Caiaphas Cain?"
Yeah.
So Caiaphas Cain is a character in the Warhammer 40k universe in a series of novels, and I've listened to the audiobook of the first one.
Mm.
And he is basically he sees himself as an abject coward who's always sending people into danger for him, and he gets by being scared and lucky and whatnot. S-
Yeah.
And he's in a universe where he's dealing with like giant insectoid monsters, psychic aliens. There's always the threat of the warp, which is basically like the warp is what they use to do hyperspace, but it's also where the ancient evil gods live, and it's also where your souls go when you die.
Hmm.
This was explained to me by somebody else. If this is incorrect, I'm sorry. This book does not, like, while I rather enjoyed this book, it does not do a great job of actually explaining the setting very much. It assumes, that the humans are ruled by the Emperor of Mankind, who died many years ago and has just kept it as like a mummified corpse on its throne. It assumes what the vehicles are. Like, they do kind of describe some of the vehicles, and they don't exactly bend over backwards explaining what they are.
Mhm.
You kind of have to work it out through context. So as an initiate to the series, it wasn't a great introduction.
Mm.
What it is, though, is a very fun character study of somebody who is seen as this amazing hero, and from his perspective, he's just a coward and a braggart who who gets by on luck. But Um, similar to how Flashman is an awful person and my character Soren is actually a good guy deep down, I think
Yeah.
Caiaphas is in the same sort of good guy deep down category. He's just a little bit overly critical. So the
Mm.
so the books are just, or at least this book is just, yeah, I think all the books are basically the idea is that a character he knew in universe decided to collect all of his jumbled writings and put them in some sort of order, and
Mm.
so she'll cut in occasionally to provide commentary, or she'll do an excerpt from a historical tract to give context to the adventure.
Okay.
Um, which has funny things like you have a like one of his histories she keeps coming from is a unbiased and plain account of the gravel axe incident, and like in the thing, and the awful Xeno threat. Uh, had been allowed to percolate through the planet by the incompetence of the government, and the true sons of man rose up as in patriotic fury, from the unbiased and plain spoken.
Yeah.
And basically, the story in this one is it's pretty straightforward. It's not as audiobooks go. It's a little shy of 9 hours, so not a very long one at all.
Mm,
I think this will probably be more of a novella in terms of length. I don't have a word count handy. Um,
yeah.
Basically, the guy gets a new assignment. He has to knit together two units who hate each other,
Mm,
who both were decimated by a in recent fighting. He gets sent to some backwater to. I forget why they exactly went to the backwater in the first place. They think that I think there was like a. I think the what do you call it? I think there were some hints of problems on this backwater planet, Gravelax, that they went to.
ah,
But it's basically you're uncovering conspiracy. Well, this alien faction is here, but there's signs of this alien faction. Who's really there? I kind of got. I think they did a decent job of making sure you knew who the players were, in case you just happened to think this cover looked cool at the bookstore and didn't know what a Warhammer was.
yeah.
But again, like there were some non newbie friendly things in it
Mm.
that I kind of had to piece together. But as an audiobook, it's a good production. Narrator was great. The other narrator, who was the editor, was also great. I would actually give this one a recommend if you're interested in military fiction.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds cool.